talks about the things that we need to talk about. I'm so glad that you could join. So yeah, we've seen how busy life has been for you, and we keep seeing it digitally and on TV, and what a hectic life you have, how it's been for you. It's good. I think I signed up for it. I asked for it. Full life, my hands are full. I cannot complain. Some days are challenging, some are easier, but no regret. We've seen like currently you're India's one of the top journalists, and people simply love watching you for the reason of how smoothly and simply and with honesty you deliver the news to us. But what we want to know today is the mate in you. So हम जानना चाहते हैं कि how is Palki as a mother. For that, I think we should talk to my kids. So, but I think I'm a reasonably good mother. You've got two children. I've got two children. My daughter is 13. My son is 11 years old. So one is a teenager, one is a preteen. It's a very exciting time to see them grow, because you see a little bit of their personality evolve every day. So it's nice. I think I do the best that I can, and I honestly tell them what I cannot do. So I'm sure to manage expectations, and I'm sure you're very good at that. As a mother, and it's just one of the most common questions, like the mothers are constantly asked, and you have a very, very busy life. So how it's been balanced on both sides? I think work-life balance, increasingly both for men and women, is a challenge. It is less of a challenge when your work is something that you enjoy, so it doesn't feel like work. For me, I grew up seeing my mother work, and I saw how beautifully she balanced a lot of things. As a parent, I've had more help than she ever did. I live in a joint family. So I've always believed that we need to focus on the quality of the time that we spend and the experiences that we share as against the quantity. I cannot spend 10 hours a day with my children. I see very little of them on weekdays. But I try to, if I'm not traveling, I try to make sure that I'm there for them through the weekend, that we do some things that they will retain and remember and cherish. So I think that's what's important.
It is so time.
No, very beautifully said. But kahin na kahin mom guilt to hota hai. Do you feel that as well? Definitely hota hai. Confusion hota hai. Guilt hota hai. Every step of the way, and there is so much literature now that's available that talks about it, from the point you become pregnant to you when you have a baby, you're trying to figure out how to do a whole lot of things, and everyone is giving you advice, and mostly in good faith. True. But it can be very overwhelming. Yes. And I remember this because I used to read a lot when I was expecting my first child, and I used to talk to my doctor. Were you still working then? I was working. I was working till the very end, and I went back to work when my daughter was, I think, 4.5 months old. But in the run up to that, I used to tell my doctor, well, maybe you should do this. And then one day she snapped and she said, look, I'm the doctor. I'm the doctor. And reading the internet and reading 5 books on maternity, it does not make you an expert. So it's good to be curious and to try to learn, but listen to the experts. I thought that was very sound advice.
Awesome.
I think we make some mistakes, but we learn along the way. And we have so much exposure in today's world, right? As you rightly said, so much support, literature, and forums where we can go and seek more help and support that really helps us, to combine both and balance both. But you're in the middle of the world. I would say middle, constantly reporting world problems, issues, all the crimes, and everything which is happening around us. Do you sometimes feel a little hopeless? What is the kind of world we're living in right now? No, I think I'm excited about how the world is. That's what I love about my job the most. That no 2 days are similar. No 2 stories are exactly similar. And there is so much to explore and to learn and to fix. And throughout history, when you see with the technology, the disruptions that happen, the power imbalances, the wars, the conflicts, there is a pattern to things. As different as today feels from maybe 500 years ago. Some things have not changed. Human desires, human behavior, human responses.
Yeah.
And to that extent, if you learn history and if you try to see the future, you should look at possibilities. And it is an exciting, I think, for my children, I'm very excited for them. I mean, I could give you a very small example. We did a story yesterday on the book boom in South Korea because a South Korean has won the Nobel Prize for Literature, so people are suddenly very excited about books. And I was thinking to myself that today they have so much in terms of choices. When I was growing up, there were very limited books for children and even fewer for young adults. And so you had to labor with the classics, and that was also very good. But today, I think, and both my children have very distinct tastes in reading, and it shows in the individuals that they are turning into.
Yeah.
I think that's amazing.
It is.
So
how two children born in the same family, raised by same parents, can turn out so different, right? I constantly see that happening in my family as well with my children. Both of them are just so different. If we talk about global crisis, we constantly question as parents, what is the kind of future we are leaving behind for our children? So there's so many issues in terms of be it climate, environment, health crisis. We have faced a pandemic, all these things. So how do you stay positive around the situation? And also, how do you kind of protect your children from this? That they do not really get.
I won my last match. Awesome.
What is the kind of future we are leaving behind for our children? So there's so many issues in terms of be it climate, environment, health crisis. We have faced a pandemic, all these things. So how do you stay positive around the situation? And also, how do you kind of protect your children from this? That they do not really get, drowned into this whole negativity which is happening around us.
I think children process things differently from the way we do.
Yeah.
As of today, the biggest thing in their lives is what is happening in their school.
Yes.
Right? That is their whole world. My son is interested in sports. He follows a lot of footballers. My daughter is interested in history and literature and all sorts of things. I think we should not, I wouldn't say not worry on their accounts, but I think they'll figure it out like we did.
Yeah.
Right? They have entered the world at a different period where there is flux. They are digital natives. They are growing with technology. They're exposed to a lot more than we ever were.
Yeah.
Climate anxiety is something that the young often,
yes.
It's a big thing. I think my kids are still younger, so they're not sort of.
I think that's something they also constantly talk about at school.
They do.
And sometimes it can be very stressful for them.
But I also feel that a little bit of stress is okay. Yeah. we stress too much on the need to de-stress their lives. I think it's good to grow up with the challenges that are a reality of your world and learn to deal with them. That's how you build strength, emotional strength. So,
and I think our parents also did that. They kind of gave us more authority in terms of dealing with our own emotions. I don't know about you, but what I see that most of us, and we tend to make it so smooth and so done for our children all the time. Like we make more extra effort to make sure that. So that is making it even harder, I feel, in the longer run for them.
I think one of the things that I obviously, I think the best memories of my childhood
Yeah.
were the summer holidays and the long afternoons where I had nothing to do.
Yes.
And we had very limited access to TV because my father was not a big fan of television. Yeah, and even then, I mean, he was not. So I think that was the most creative period of my life.
Yes.
It forced me to come up with new things to keep myself entertained, and then you have these bursts of creativity. Uh, so I've done stories as well. I don't know how many takers they have, but there is we underestimate boredom for children.
Yes.
It's important to let them be sometimes and not create an activity around them. It's important to let them figure out what to do with themselves in their time.
Yeah.
It's hard. Yeah, and kids say all the time, "I'm bored."
Yeah.
Well, then deal with it.
Yeah.
Figure something out. Draw something. I don't know. Look at the sky.
Yeah, some coloring.
Yeah.
Outdoors.
So I'm not going to create that structure for you. You have to do it for yourself. And if there is no structure, that's fine. Just vegetate.
Yeah.
So I think we overemphasize the need to regulate and to make designer lives for our children. That's not really needed.
Okay. Definitely. As I said, we are constantly on job. We are kind of because it's also a competition in the sense like the pressure, social pressure you have. You see other parents doing so much for their kids, and you yourself sometimes feel like, am I not doing it right, or am I missing out on something? Do I have to do even a little more for kids? And otherwise, it feels like I might be missing out something. So that is also a pressure I feel.
Initially, I did try. Like with my daughter, she's very talented, even if I say so myself. I tried very hard to put her in dance class, music class. And after a while, she's like, I don't want to do it.
Yeah.
So I know that some of the people who started with her have now done 8 years of Kathak and are like pros.
Yeah.
But I also feel that
Awesome.
she enjoys dance. So I don't have to restrict her to a regimen.
Yeah.
And she should do it when she wants to. It's not proper Kathak. I mean, it would have been great had she learned.
Yeah. Yeah.
But if she's not learned and she wants to do that I'm what they have.
Yeah.
And we figure out our own thing, and you don't have to ace a lot of things by the time you're 16 or 17, or you don't have to take those steps.
Yeah.
What matters is that you're curious, that you're healthy, that you're enjoying yourself.
Yeah.
And so I let them be unless they really push for something. I mean, I know a lot of parents, and kudos to them if they're being able to pack all of it in their schedules.
Yeah.
I can't, and I don't want to kill myself, and I want to burden them with a whole lot of things.
Yeah.
So
I think it's a very good message, especially for the first time moms, because that is where you start getting the whole thing, like it's really getting heavy on you. And I think it's very important for them to understand it's okay to take it easy sometimes.
Yes, I think we try to build the life for our children sometimes that we hope that we have.
True.
And we, after a certain point, live vicariously through them, and we want them to have everything. But that's not. Life has its own plan.
True. And changing so fast, I feel. As you said, you're really excited for the future for your children.
Yeah.
I'm very curious to know, because you most of the times have very ground level insights about everything what is happening in the world, right? Next 20 years, what are the biggest challenges you think our children might face?
The biggest challenges. I think climate is a concern, definitely. I think technology is disrupting lives at a very fast pace. The children are at home because they are digital natives. We are the ones who are very anxious because we are trying to play catch up all the time.
Yeah.
I think when I was growing up, careers were limited, and that made it easier for people to at least start. But it's impossible to really advise a young person on what they should do in terms of higher education, in terms of what they say, because with many possibilities also comes confusion, and sometimes I think as parents we are not equipped to give the right advice. I know that there are lots of counselors. So I think the world is expanding at the same time contracting in terms of what can be achieved. Everything seems within your grasp.
Yes.
And the future of work is changing. So I don't know what that's going to bring. I don't think anyone's sort of figured out
Yes.
What a typical ideal career 15 years from now will be.
Yes.
So I think that's something that is a process that we'll have to go with.
How children see and perceive things in today's world is completely different than how we saw it.
Yeah.
What is that one thing you really miss from your childhood and you wish that I wish my kids had experienced it?
My child. Clean air. No, really.
It is a massive issue, yeah.
It's a big thing. I think, we had.
With it brings a lot of freedom as well. Because they can just be farmed.
We could grow our plants. I mean, we had a little garden. I know a lot of kids still do, but in cities it's increasingly difficult. I remember when I was in school, I used to grow some of my vegetables, and it was a very good feeling. I wish my kids had that. We had cows. I mean, in my great grandfather's house, and I've spent time looking at that aspect of life too.
Yeah.
For my children, it's just this exotic idea that they will probably never see. So I
The
think
most
some
basic things
yes,
they're not exposed
some
to.
very basic things, language. So I try to. I mean, they're so exposed to English,
They are.
right? And we
That's
are
become very normal in households. So.
we are a Hindi-speaking family.
Yeah.
I'm from Rajasthan, so I want them to learn my language, but I'm increasingly losing hope.
I come from UP, and in UP they speak a very different language, right?
Yeah.
They call it Tate. And I speak it very fluently.
I see.
But I never speak it at home with my husband or my kids. I'll only speak it when I'm with my grandparents, for example. So for my daughter, when she saw me speaking, she would literally looking at like, who are you?
Yeah, I
I've
know.
never seen you speaking this before. And for them, it's a very different, I think they have a very different perception of us in today's world compared to what our parents and grandparents have.
But I speak if I'm very agitated, if I'm very upset about something, or if I'm very happy, I launch into my mother tongue.
Yeah.
And my kids are, I can see them rolling their eyes, and I can see them sort of, but it's okay.
Do kids watch your show, your news channel, and when you're delivering the news? Are they fond of it?
Not every day, but they do watch some stories because I very consciously try to do content that attracts Gen Z and Gen L if possible. I do meet a lot of parents who say that my 10-year-old is watching your show.
Yeah.
Which is great because they are consuming content. They might as well consume something that is coming with a lot of research. And,
yes.
So, sometimes they do. Some of the stories that they find interesting or exciting, some explainers. We are a family of journalists, so they do hear a lot of terms being, thrown around, discussed. So they ask questions. So yes, they are increasingly interested in
Do you get compliments from them sometimes? Or most of the time?
Very rarely. I usually get when I'm trying to tell them something, they're like, your show is over. They're like, yeah. So please save it for what you do in office.
As they say, I think for a mom, facing the world is a lot easier than facing the children.
Yes.
Especially the ones who are now in teenage.
They keep you grounded. It's a great reality check all the time.
Yeah. So what are the latest Gen Z and Gen Alpha trends which are happening that you think are really affecting your kids?
They're changing language for sure, and I learn new words from them all the time. And if I repeat some of them, I think they'll just give me a lot of grief when they see this podcast. But no, they are, and we've done stories on this. Gen Alpha is like they say things are sus and someone's being extra or mid or you've seen those words being used. So I try to. Some of my colleagues are also young, and they try to in the stories that we write use the language. So once we said, what is it called? Delulu is the only Sululu. Have you heard that? And I got so many reactions for that. So yeah, they're changing language.
There's so much we can learn from them.
Yes, absolutely.
And insane.
Yeah, they know how to work. Yeah, I'm still learning how to share my screen on a Zoom call, but they can.
Oh yes,
they've aced technology.
Technologically, they're so much advanced now. Yeah, I have seen the shift in our time. I think most of us were very inclined towards the Western world. You know, wanted to travel to the Western countries and study there, work there. But now I see this entire shift towards the Eastern countries. So kids are more willing to go to the Eastern the movie K-pop and everything that is happening. What do you think is causing this? What could be the reason behind that?
K-pop is a completely different beast. They've really aced that game, and they've made it one of their biggest exports. So I think that is the cultural appeal that K-pop has. My kids haven't sort of reached that stage where they're thinking about higher education in a particular country. Though they sometimes do tell me that if you pick a fight or if you criticize every country, then where will we end up? I said, you can study here. We are a big country. We have lots of colleges.
Yeah.
So yeah, that happens. But I think this cultural exposure that the children of today are getting is something that has to be handled more carefully by us as parents.
Yeah.
It is great to know about cultures and values of the whole world. At the same time, it's very important to be strongly rooted in yours.
True. And that has become a big struggle in today's.
Yes. So 31st is Diwali. 31st is also Halloween. It's fine to be celebrating Halloween but it's equally important to know that we have Lakshmi Puja on Diwali. We make a rangoli. We make kheer on Sharad Purnima. Those things. Those are things that stay with you. When they go to college, they'll probably not do half those things because other priorities take over. But as they advance in life, that nucleus remains. That is what we call, the sanskar.
Yes.
So the sanskar has to be very strong.
True.
And I think for our generation of parents, it's very important to instill that in children. That is not to say that you don't give them the exposure and the experience of what the rest of the world offers. It's absolutely fine. But you can only grow higher in life when your roots are deep.
True.
So,
any foundation.
Yes. So those roots have to be influenced by what we are as individuals, as a society, what our culture is.
Do you think it's weakening?
I think sometimes we don't take it seriously enough. We think it's not some conspiracy.
Yeah.
I hope it's not. It's just that we are too laid back to really see how it is impacting.
And we're trying to catch up with the world constantly. I think that is another.
Yeah. So we don't.
reason.
I think it's important to engage with children and talk to them about things that are important. It's important to read Panchatantra to them as well while you read other books. Right? Manga comics are great. What do they read these days? Geronimo Stilton and Harry Potter, very good books. But we have our own too. So it has to be complete.
Yes.
That is how they will learn to compare and to also appreciate what is there.
My children, both of them went to this play school here in Delhi. One of the best play schools in Delhi. They follow the Montessori curriculum. The principal there, she's always emphasized to start speaking only in Hindi with your children. And she always said, don't send your kids here with the expectations कि उनको English ही बोलना आना चाहिए तभी यहाँ admission मिलेगा. We want kids to have their first language as Hindi.
Yeah.
And it's very, very important because English they will pick up down the line. And they will learn at school as well. But this base language, their mother tongue, has to be very, very solid.
Yeah.
So I think that kind of, I would say, ecosystem is also very, very important to form around our kids. not just at home, but also at schools and any other institution they are exposed to.
Yeah, I think you can learn as many languages as you want to, as long as you also understand yours.
Yes, yes,
That's
totally true.
so I keep adding this rider because we don't have to be exclusionist.
Search for
Um,
females.
but like I said, we need to know what is ours,
True.
Where we come from. We need to understand,
Appreciate it.
yes, and then we will know what works elsewhere and what doesn't.
We all came out of this massive pandemic, COVID, and as parents, we were constantly worried and trying to protect our children. But you, on the other hand, was working through and through. How it's been for you, and how did it affect you emotionally? Because every day you were coming back home to your kids.
It was very tough. It was because I felt that I was putting them in harm's way. Everyone else was working from home.
Park the vehicle.
I could have, but I didn't because there were people in my team who were coming to work, so it would have been unfair to call some of them, and so we took the precautions that we had to take.
Yeah.
But as it turned out, my daughter was the first one to get COVID. And yes,
How old was she?
She was 2020, yeah, so 4 years back. 9. Yeah. And she was, and this around the same time, just before Diwali.
Yeah.
Watch out.
So it was a difficult time because none of us knew what's coming next.
Yeah.
What this means. How long will this go on?
Yes.
We tried to make everything an activity and a new thing with the online classes that started, and kids were at home. It was a different world, but at the same time, as a professional, it was every day, especially the second wave, which was very bad here in India. You were waking up every day, and people were. I dreaded picking up my phone because somebody would ask for help, and as much as I want to help, hospitals are full of people. How many times are you going to call someone to ask for a favor and say, this person needs to? That's not how it works. And, and it's always one person's life being prioritized over another. So it was it was mentally very, very tough and emotionally, and then you had to keep your